So yeah, we talked about locker rooms. Now I want to go into everything else from the game, everything off the field, really. First thing I was going to ask you about was the fans. Obviously, the Jags over here playing in a different country. How do the fans differ from the US to the UK?
I actually played in Wembley in 2009. I was with the Saints, and it was one of the early games that we had over here, and it was awkward being on the sidelines because the fans didn't know when to cheer, what to cheer for. Obviously, they didn't know the rules, and it was just really strange. And so 3 years ago, I came over when the Jaguars played the Ravens, and it was night and day. They were into it, and they knew the game. It was clearly a home advantage for the Jaguars. It was a Jaguar crowd. They were loud, cheered at the right time. It felt very similar to a home game in Jacksonville.
Really?
I was impressed with just the transition from 2009 to just a couple years ago, how much the fan base had changed.
The more I come over here, and I come over here year round, like there's genuine NFL, American football fans. And I get asked questions here in London, almost the same style question I get asked on the streets in the US. So it's fun to watch it grow.
I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. I was doing well for myself. I thought, right, I'll buy a nice car now. I'm playing for England, I'm playing for Liverpool, I'm playing in the Champions League. I bought myself an Aston Martin, and I'm driving it down thinking I'm the man. I've got the shades on, the windows down, the music's blaring anyway. But Roy Keane, plays for Manchester United, Ireland, pulled up to the lights next to me, and he's an absolute legend. I was about to give him like, all right, Roy, like me and you, similar paths, both like on fire, we're flying in life. Yeah. And I looked at him, and he just looked at me like I was a piece of crap, like literally, like I was that big.
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Anyway, he pulled away. I looked at myself in the mirror and just thought, he's right, yeah. And I sold the car that week. I took I think it was like a 30 grand hit on it. Right. Seriously, yeah, from one look. I know in England, I'll watch a game, I know for 45 minutes that there'll be no interruptions whatsoever, and they have half time, and there might be a few adverts, and then we'll watch the second half in its entirety. I remember watching a game out there, bang, I'd be looking at a commercial going, what's going on? Like, it's just crazy. Like,
well, I mean, listen, you look at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like
people talk about the commercials as much as obviously the game's first, but then like, what's the best commercial?
It's a massive budget for those commercials.
Sure.
Huge budget, and it's a big business and a lot of money, and I think a lot of American sports, if you look at the flow of them, are almost designed to support television and the events there, whether it's the NFL with the stops and the quarters and the timeouts, or baseball or basketball, whatever it is. Soccer's more of a continuous flow, so you're not going to have those natural breaks. So, and then for players, there's always opportunities. The superstar quarterbacks always get more opportunities than the really important offensive linemen. But, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And typically, when you're playing, those opportunities come. When you're not playing, it's hard to get those, man.
If anyone in London's looking for
we're available. We're available.
Broke down offensive lineman to support your product, I'm more than happy to come over here.
I love some of the touchdown celebrations. There's some very elaborate ones. What are some of the best ones you've seen? Did you partake in any?
I don't do them. I listen.
Do you just wave at them while
I just say, "Great job, guys." Bark was a big dancer.
Don't listen, that's not true.
Yeah.
I was pretty boring on my touchdown celebrations. I might spike it or...
The rules changed this last year because they used to get a penalty if you danced or you did too much of a celebration, and the NFL caught some criticism and they wanted to make it more fun, so they let the guys do more dances, more celebrations. So you see a lot of celebrations.
Well, and it used to be where one guy would celebrate, he'd do a dance or something. Yeah. Now it's coordinated where there's multiple guys doing it. Choreographed, exactly.
It's a lot of practice goes into these.
Too much. I can barely handle just like the basics of life. You
I
have a great celebration out here.
No, I hate people that dance when they.
No, but I heard you have a great one. It's
no, I can't stand
robot.
It. I can't
like
stand
a robot.
It.
You have a robot. I mean,
there's a robot right there. There's a reason that's there.
Yeah. The story behind it was a bit nuts. It did go mad. I mean, I genuinely when after I did it, I didn't realise what I had done, because as soon as I got back to the hotel after the game, turned on the telly and CNN were covering it. Sky News, every news channel I was going like, I did a fucking dance after I scored. CNN were on the streets of New York speaking to actual body poppers, telling me where I was going wrong and
analysing it.
What moves were good and what parts were bad. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Was it planned out or was it just spontaneous?
No, it was completely spontaneous. Like I said, it was like David Beckham had a party at his house and it was televised, and I just did this thing on the dance floor after a few beers, and I was just getting calls non-stop saying, "Oh, you've got to do that if you score," and I thought I wouldn't. But I did the next game, and then it went nuts. I mean, what is it? It was 2006, 13 years ago.
And they're still talking about it.
Still talking about it.
That is cool.
I think really because I wasn't very good at it. I think that's why it was funny.
Yeah, that's right.
Boys, so thank you so much for doing that. I genuinely have enjoyed it.
We did too.
I feel like, you've helped me a great deal, and I'm not just, messing about. I genuinely want to get into it a lot more. I've got my jersey up there, my shirt. I'm going to wear that to the game. When's the game, by the way?
First Sunday in November.
In November, okay. So I'm not busy in November
No, you have
anymore.
plenty of time now. You're retired.
Other than fireworks night on the 5th, I'll be down. 100%.
Well, plus you can come to Jacksonville, bring your golf clubs.
Okay.
Play a little
we'll
golf.
have a game of golf. I'm
And
up
watch
for that.
a Jaguar game
Out
right there in Jacksonville.
Where it's
Yeah.
out. I'd love to do that.
There you go.
I really would.
Thanks, Peter.
So, man, thanks
Thanks
a
for
lot,
having
man.
us.
Yeah, pleasure.
Good stuff. All right, getting you paid. There you go.
Forgot the arm.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want the gloves?
Yeah, if I might as well go.
See, why
You
not?
gotta put them on. You put it on.
The gloves imperative. You need the gloves.
Yeah, most.
Really? Yeah, because it's a bit. I'm restricted.
go. Blue 18 to hut. Nice.
Let's run a route.
You want to go long?
Oh no!
Here we go. Yeah. Out of way. Not that.
Do the
Oh, here we go.
robot. Do the robot.
Let's do it. That's part of the day right there.
I don't know how you play this stuff.
Look at you.
It's heavy man. Oh, good man. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you
buddy.
so
That
much.
was
I
great.
enjoyed it.
That was great, Peter. Thank you.
Whew.